Easy Mulligan versus Rogue. Rain of Fire can be useful for a big lackey board, but I don't expect him to make a big lackey board until at least turn 4 or 5 at the earliest, and that's if he's just going really aggro. So this is not bad. Sense Demon is a great pickup. Acidic Swamp Ooze is also pretty solid. Just in case he tries to tempo out, we can combat his tempo onslaught with our Ooze. Maybe, you know, we can even get rid of a dagger. I think it's tempting to want to save the Ooze for the Galakron, but I just don't know how realistic it is that we're going to allow him to get his fully invoked Galakron and just sit on the Ooze until that point in the game. So I'm happy to tempo it out as and when it looks like a good play. For now, we can just keep tapping. And this is not a heavy pressure matchup, so I don't think that we need to hold off on using the Sense Demons. I think we're happy to Sense Demons this turn. And by the looks of it, he doesn't have a turn 3 play, so we will probably tap Ooze on 4. So we have 6 cards, we will be up to 7. Next turn we have 8. Naturally, we tap to 9 and play the Ooze, we're back down to 8. If we tap this turn, we're also at 8, and we keep the Sense Demons. But that means that on turn 5, when we draw our 9th card naturally, we have to have a 2-mana play in addition to our Sense Demons. So we may have to tempo out a Moarg Artificer. Interestingly enough, the Sense Demons is actually not getting... If we draw another Artificer or Broodmother, we're not going to be able to play that Sense Demons. Ooh. Maybe next turn we Sense Demons and Plot Twist. This is actually great. This is actually perfect. We're ruining his whole turn 3 play. He didn't have anything before that. Next turn we will be at 10 after we Sense Demons, and then we can just Plot Twist it away. I like it. And if we happen to draw the other Broodmother or the second Moarg, we can just tap Plot Twist instead of sensing the demons. Let's just skip ahead. Looks like we got our Broodmother and we're back up to 30. So next turn we are at 19 cards drawn. The questing explorer will put, or the adventure, whatever it is called, will complete our quest. We can tap then. We can even Plot Twist this away, so we have a better chance of getting a 0-mana Maly in the future. Or maybe we'll have other things we want to do. I don't really have a good way of clearing this, so probably we're just going to let this live for a turn or 2 at the very least. Because I don't really want to Nether Breath this and Immortal Coil it, and I don't really want to Moarg Nether Breath this when we don't need any healing. Yeah, with this Abyssal Summoner, we can just kind of tempo it out, and next turn we can start tapping. Because if we do it this turn, and we tap into a 0-mana card that we can't play, I'm not sure that I want to Plot Twist that away, because there are certain cards in this deck that are still remaining in my deck that I don't want to discard. So I think I do actually like this Summoner. I think it's a good play. We can't really afford to lose our Alex. We don't want to lose our DQ. We would love to see our Crazed Netherwings, so just so we can keep contesting his board. And Crazed Netherwing is our only AoE, other than like Moarg, Rain of Fire, and you know, at some point Rogue is going to want to start developing wide boards. Yeah, Mortal Coiling the 1/1 was a consideration last turn, but when we put so much pressure on him with the Abyssal Summoner, I think we're actually like, the Toggle isn't even doing that much for him. He's just spending 6 on a 5/5, and next turn his hand is too full to play the wand, so maybe he has Xerog's Crown. But if he took the wand, then like he's just never gonna get to play that, and his turn 6 is almost totally whiffed while we develop the 9/9. And now we can actually reasonably consider Nether Breath pinging off the 5/5 if we want. just so that we can put 9 upstairs. That's very interesting. Yeah, I think I like this. I definitely want to put the 9 upstairs. And we don't... Now that he's played the Togwaggle, it's not like we need to clear the Lackey, so we could maybe just set him to 19. But setting him to 19 is like, we're not in range of taking him out anytime soon. So maybe it's better to just clear the 1/1. It's probably right. But I don't think we need to clear the Togwaggle. Because Eviscerate just is too clean. And if he's going to Eviscerate, he has to run the Tog in anyway. I think I like this. The only thing we're playing around by not killing the only thing we're not playing around, rather, by not killing the Togwaggle is, like, Backstab or Seal Fate, but those aren't relevant breakpoints anyway. Now he can Seal Fate us, casually. But he still had to run the Togwaggle in, so he was correct to not clear, I think. I mean, I guess, I don't know, it may not have been correct, but... I mean, he may not have been able to deal with it, is what I mean, but I think it was correct, yeah. He probably would have preferred to Eviscerate, if he could have. Seal Fate, Eviscerate, Lackey, Goblin Lackey would have done the job. So I think we can read that he doesn't have the Eviscerate. Yep. I like this. Just Broodmother, tap. Keeping some tempo pressure high, I think, is very good. Because we do have 8 burst damage in our hand. We could plot twist this, but we don't need these Broodmothers in our deck. The way I look at plot twist is, what cards do I want to put back in my deck? And I don't think I necessarily need to be putting the Broodmothers back in my deck. Even though they are not a bad 0 mana pickup, I just think at this point we're going to be plot twisting just to rerun our hand. Oh wow. We could actually just play the Alex right now and put him to 15. I don't think he can do anything, and if he can't clear this stuff up, then we're just going to be in a world of win, aren't we? We have 8 from hand. Actually, we have 9 from hand with the Maly on turn 10, but next turn we have 8 in hand. So he really needs to deal with this whole board. I don't think that's the way to deal with it. Twilight Drake, what are you doing? So now he does have the Eviscerate? That's weird. I think he would have rather Eviscerated, because then he could have cleared up my 2/3 with the Togwaggle. Wow, he has 2 Eviscerates. I think he's played this not correctly. Because he definitely had the Eviscerate. So now we just win. He definitely had the Eviscerates to deal with the Abyssal Summoner. But instead he chose to... I don't need to show you that I won, right? Like here, we know that he has... Those 2 Eviscerates came from the middle of his hand. So here, Seal Fate puts this down to 6. Eviscerate. Play your Dragon Lackey. Goblin Lackey the Dragon Lackey. And then you have this 5/5 to still clear up my 2/3 with. Instead of doing it this weird way that he did, where he Goblin Lackey'd the Togwaggle. I think that was a mistake for sure. I don't know if it cost him the game, but it certainly was not the right play. Because let's say he does retain his Togwaggle, and he puts it, and he has a 5/3 Togwaggle after clearing our 2/3. We might at some point have to Nether Breath the Togwaggle. And if we Nether Breath the Togwaggle, we don't have the burst in order to get him next turn. This turn we might have had to Nether Breath, Aranasi Broodmother, and we don't get to tap into our 0 mana Alex. Or maybe we would have just played the Broodmother because it contends well enough to clear the Togwaggle. And we would have tapped into the 0-mana Alex, and we would have put the 0-mana Alex upstairs. But then he doesn't have to do all of this stuff. He can use both of his Eviscerates. Now, he doesn't have 2 Eviscerates, but he still has 1 Eviscerate. He can possibly try and use that to clear up our Alexstrasza, while his Lackey and Togwaggle clear this up, and this is not existent anymore. So then he just needs to find 4 damage for the Alexstrasza, and he's still at 13. And now we only have 1 Soulfire. We don't have the second Nether Breath. So we have to keep playing the game. So yeah, I think that was actually a pretty big misplay on his part. Possibly a throw, arguably a throw. But we ended up getting there with this one. I think we played this one well.